The last group on table R that we have to cover is esters. So if you look at table R, esters have this general formula. So they have one group. This C right here has a double bonded O to it, and then you have an O connector, what I call an O connector, and then a carbon group after it, or a hydrocarbon group, if you will. All right, so there are two groups on either side of the O connector. One will have a C double bond O, and one does not. So we have here's the O connector, right? Here's one group that has a C double bond O, and then we have this other group on the O connector that does not. If you look on table R, every single ester has two names, so it's always going to have the name something ill, something O8. They don't use a number on table R, so you will never use a number in your esters when you're naming them. All right, so what's the first name and what's the last name? The first name is the one that doesn't have the C double bond O. In this case, it's this group right here. So if you look at the first step up here, what are we going to do? We're going to take the group that doesn't have the C double bond O, see how many carbons it has, and name it accordingly. This has one carbon, so it's meth, according to table P, right? So we're going to add an ill on the end of that. So this is the methyl group. Methyl, that's the first name. The second name, the one with the O8, is going to be the one that has the C double bond O. So this is going to be something O8, methyl something O8. I'm going to look at how many carbons there are. There are 6. So therefore, this is going to be a hex, and all the bonds are single, so it's going to be hexane. So this is going to be methyl hexane O8. All right, so I'm just going to add that ending here. All right, so that's how you do it. This is probably the hardest one to name, and it's very common they ask about it. So let's try these next two. Go ahead and try and see if you can get what A is. All right, so now let's look at the different groups we have here. All right, so we have this group right here. This is the one without the C double bond O. It's 3 carbons. It's prop. I'm going to put an ill on the end. That's a prop-ill group. And then this is the one with the C double bond O. That's 1 carbon. So it's going to be prop-ill methanoate. So it's propyl methanoate. All right, so now I purposely put this one on there because sometimes you might see esters drawn this way. So notice in this one, the C double, if reading from left to right, C double bond O comes first and then the oxygen. C double bond O first and then the oxygen. Remember, these are 3-dimensional molecules. They spin in space. They're, they are, they could be written either way. Are these two the same? No, they're not the same, right? And let's look at how we name them. Go ahead and try and name this one. Remember, the C double bond O part is the last name, and the one without the C double bond O part is the first name. All right, so let's look at the groups we have here. We have a 1 carbon group that doesn't have the C double bond O. That makes this methyl something. So the methyl will be the first name. The O8 part, the part with the C double bond O, is 3 carbons. So that's prop. Well, if bond's a single, that's ane. So since it's an ester, it's propane O8. So this is methyl propane O8. 2 different compounds, right? Very similar names. Propyl methanoate and methyl propanoate. This one has the C double bond O on the 1 carbon portion. This one has the C double bond O on the 3 carbon portion. Different structures, different properties. But we talked about a term that these are. If you look at the formula of these, right, they each have 4 carbons. They each have 2 oxygens. They each have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hydrogens. So the molecular formula of these is both of these are C4H8O2. All right. What do we call something that has a different structure but the same molecular formula? That's right. They're called isomers. Let's just look at drawing them. So this is, again, a little more difficult than some of the other ones because we got the two parts and we have to know how to differentiate them. So I'm going to draw them more like this one, just because the first name is here and the second name is there. So when we're reading the name from left to right, we're going to put the groups from left to right. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first name. I'm going to draw the carbon skeleton. I'm drawing ethyl pentanoate. So the first name is ethyl. I'm going to draw two carbons. Then I'm going to put the oxygen connector that I talked about. Right, there's the oxygen connector. At this point, what I like to do, so I don't put the C double bond O in the wrong place, remember the first name doesn't have the C double bond O, so I'm just going to add my hydrogens to that piece. So those hydrogens are done. Now I don't have to touch those anymore. A very common mistake is people put hydrogens on the oxygen. Remember, oxygen only ever gets two bonds, so don't put any hydrogens on that oxygen. Right, now I'm going to put in my last name. The last name is pentanoate. So pent means 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ane means all the bonds are single. And O8 means I have an ester. So what I'm going to do is the first carbon after my oxygen connector. Here's my oxygen connector. So this carbon, I'm going to slap on a C double bond O. Remember, the O8 part is the part with the O. Oh, wait, is that the part with the O? Yeah, that's the part with the O. Oh, wait, what did you say? I said that's the part with the O. Okay, O8 part is the part with the C double bond O. All right, once I do that, I'm going to put in my hydrogens. A very common mistake. Again, people throw a hydrogen here. Look at this. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds already. And I've seen this with ketones and aldehydes already in some of your work. Don't put another hydrogen on this carbon. It already has 4. If you put a hydrogen on here, it will have 5. So that's the structure for ethyl pentanoate. All right, so do the worksheet. And please, if you haven't already done the previous day's lessons, please do those as well. Some of you are falling a little behind on your work. Let's keep this going and try and keep some kind of normalcy with our classroom as best we can. All right, thanks. Have a great day. This is the last video I'll be sharing with you for the weekend, so have a great weekend as well. And I'll talk to you on Monday.